In the wild, survival depends on being prepared for the unexpected. You learn to read the signs, understand your environment, and adapt when things go wrong. The same is true for our communities, especially our churches. The Goshen Apostolic Institute was founded on a simple, powerful idea to train church leaders, the apostles of our time, in end-time survival systems. It's about more than just faith. It's about having the practical skills to keep that faith alive when the systems we depend on collapse. In a world that is becoming more fragile every day, we must ask ourselves if our spiritual homes are built on rock or on shifting digital sand. Today, many churches have become incredibly reliant on modern technology. We connect through social media, we stream our services on Zoom, and we manage our finances with online giving platforms. These tools are convenient, but they are also a point of weakness. A single power outage, a targeted cyber attack, or a government crackdown could sever these digital lifelines in an instant. The Goshen Apostolic Institute understands this vulnerability and works to equip leaders with the knowledge to lead their flocks through any storm. It teaches us to look beyond the convenience of today and prepare for the realities of tomorrow, ensuring our communities can endure. This isn't about fear, it's about readiness. Just as I would pack a survival kit before heading into the jungle, church leaders must pack their own kind of kit. This means building networks that don't rely on the internet and establishing systems that can function offline. The mission is to create churches that are not just buildings or online streams, but resilient, decentralized communities that can support one another no matter what happens. The training provided by the Institute is designed to transform leaders from being mere managers of a congregation into true survival guides for their people, capable of navigating the harshest spiritual and societal landscapes. The core principle is simple. True strength comes from being able to operate independently. When the grid goes down, your ability to communicate, gather, and support each other becomes paramount. The Goshen Apostolic Institute provides a roadmap for building this kind of strength from the ground up. It's a call to move beyond church as usual and embrace a more robust, prepared way of life. By focusing on practical, offline solutions, we can ensure that our faith and our communities don't just survive a crisis, but emerge from it stronger and more connected than ever before. Preparation is the ultimate act of faith in action. To truly understand the risks we face, the Goshen Apostolic Institute developed a powerful scenario called Blackout Week. This isn't just a story, it's a simulation of how quickly our modern world could unravel. Imagine day one, a massive cyber attack strikes, and the internet goes dark. Suddenly, your church's live stream is gone, your social media pages are inaccessible, your primary way of communicating with your congregation vanishes. The government, citing the emergency, restricts large gatherings. How do you reach your people? How do you let them know they are not alone? This is the first test, and for many, it would be a failing one. By day 3 of the Blackout Week scenario, the situation grows more severe. With the old financial systems in chaos, governments roll out central bank digital currencies. This new system gives them unprecedented control. For churches deemed non-compliant or accused of hate speech, the consequences are immediate. Bank accounts are frozen. The ability to pay for your building, support your staff, or fund your outreach programs is gone. At the same time, supply chains break down and food shortages begin to bite. The digital tithing systems that once seemed so efficient have now become a weapon used against you. The scenario escalates further by day 5. The crisis is now used as a pretext to clamp down on religious freedom. Distributing Bibles is labeled an extremist act. Church leaders, whose digital footprints have made them easy to track, are targeted. AI-powered drones are deployed to monitor known church locations, ensuring that no unauthorized meetings take place. The very act of gathering to worship has become a dangerous, clandestine operation. Blackout Week shows us that the tools we use for convenience can quickly be turned into instruments of control, making our churches and their leaders vulnerable targets in a hostile environment. This hypothetical week is a stark and necessary wake-up call. It exposes the deep fragility of a church built on technology it does not control. It forces us to confront uncomfortable questions about our preparedness. When the lights go out, will your church's light go out with them? The Goshen Apostolic Institute uses this scenario not to spread panic, but to inspire action. It demonstrates in clear and undeniable terms why every apostle must learn to operate outside the conventional systems. Survival in this new wilderness requires a different set of skills that reconnect us to the resilient, decentralized roots of the early church. Surviving Blackout Week requires more than just hope. It demands a plan. This is where the Goshen Apostolic Institute introduces its practical training, known as the Goshen Protocols. These are not complicated theories, but tangible, real-world strategies designed to keep a church functioning when all else fails. The first protocol addresses communication. Instead of relying on public live streams that can be shut down, leaders are taught to build resilient, mesh-based networks for secure offline messaging. They learn to use encrypted channels like Signal or Session, ensuring that vital information can be shared safely among the flock without being monitored or censored by outside forces. Next, the protocols tackle the critical issue of finance. When digital currencies are used to freeze church assets, a new economy must rise to take its place. The Institute trains leaders to establish untraceable giving systems using privacy-focused cryptocurrencies like Monero. More importantly, it teaches them to create robust barter networks within their communities. In this system, food, essential skills, and physical assets like silver become the new currency. This not only bypasses a hostile financial system, but also strengthens the bonds within the community, as members learn to rely on one another for their practical needs. The church becomes a true storehouse of resources. Logistics and community safety are also central to the Goshen protocols. Leaders learn how to create dead drop locations for secretly distributing Bibles and other essential materials. They are trained to plant covert house churches, small groups of 12 that can meet discreetly in homes without attracting attention. A system of safe houses is established, activated by coded language like the storehouse is ready, providing refuge for those in danger. Regular persecution drills are conducted, preparing the congregation mentally and practically for how to respond under pressure, ensuring they can protect each other and continue their mission even when being actively hunted. These protocols are designed to build a church that is fundamentally anti-fragile, one that grows stronger under pressure. By decentralizing everything from communication and finance to worship itself, the church becomes a hydra-headed organism that cannot be defeated by cutting off a single point of failure. The Goshen Apostolic Institute provides graduates with the tools to not only survive the crisis, but to lead the rebuilding effort afterward. They learn to establish new churches without central databases and deploy crypto-based underground training systems, ensuring the faith can be passed on to the next generation, no matter how dark the world becomes. The lessons of the wild are clear. Those who fail to adapt are the first to perish. The modern world, with its complex and fragile systems, is a new kind of wilderness. For church leaders, for the apostles of this generation, the challenge is to guide their people safely through it. The skills taught at the Goshen Apostolic Institute are not optional extras. They are becoming essential for anyone serious about preserving their community and their faith in the face of growing uncertainty. Ignoring the warning signs is a luxury we can no longer afford. The time to prepare is now, before the storm hits and the lights go out for good. Embracing these survival systems transforms a church from a passive audience into an active, resilient community. When members are connected through secure networks, participate in barter systems, and know how to gather safely in secret, they become stakeholders in their own survival. This deepens their faith and forges bonds of trust that are far stronger than those formed during a peaceful Sunday service. A church that has trained for hardship is a church that can face anything. It becomes a true sanctuary, a beacon of hope and practical support in a world consumed by chaos and fear. The Goshen Apostolic Institute offers a clear path forward. It begins with a Goshen Readiness Audit, a straightforward assessment to help you identify your church's specific vulnerabilities. From there, the Institute provides masterclasses, mentorship, and detailed frameworks to help you build your own resilient apostolic network. This is a call to action for every leader who feels a responsibility to protect their flock. It is an invitation to step away from the fragile comforts of church as usual and become the prepared, resourceful, and courageous guide your people will need in the difficult days ahead. Ultimately, this training is about ensuring that the message of faith endures. It is about equipping leaders with the strength and wisdom to keep the flame alive, even in the deepest darkness. When society breaks down, people will look for leadership. They will search for communities that offer not just spiritual comfort, but genuine safety and stability. By joining the Goshen Apostolic Institute and mastering these end-time survival systems, you are not just preparing for a potential crisis. You are positioning your church to be a powerful force for good when it is needed most. Be ready, be strong, be prepared to lead.